The Mandalorian Chapter 15 might have set up the latest Star Wars spinoff, and it definitely set up a grand finale for Season 2. The Mandalorian here with your recap of Chapter 15, The Believer, the first whole episode without Baby Grogu in it, but was still very pulse-pounding, and the setup for the Season 2 finale has been wild. Spoilers ahead as we take a deep dive into the latest Star Wars endeavor. The episode starts in a Carthon chop field. Lots of TIE fighters are being scrapped here, which makes a lot of sense because they always lose their battles. Mayfeld is serving his prison sentence here, is quickly recruited and meets Boba Fett, who repainted his Mandalorian armor. It's good to see they stopped at Michael's for some arts and crafts along the way. Mayfeld isn't thrilled to see Mando after their shared history in a Season 1 episode, but he really doesn't have much of a choice other than helping in this week's side quest. We see inside the Slave One ship, which is really cool, especially when we see how the passengers stay upright as the ship goes from horizontally landing mode to vertical flight mode. Everything around them rotates. Mayfeld knows the Imperial clearance codes that Mando needs to locate Moff Gideon, but he needs an internal access point to get to that information. So this week's quest is off to Morak, where an Imperial base is hoarding Rhydonium, a hugely volatile substance responsible for one of the biggest explosions we ever saw in the Clone Wars series. There's a debate over who is going to Trojan horse it into this base with Mayfeld. Boba Fett can't do it because they'll recognize his face, which is a reference to clone troopers having been important during the Clone Wars and making his face quite recognizable, but also Boba literally served Darth Vader directly for the Empire, so they might know a thing or two about him. So Mando and Mayfeld are going in by hijacking an Imperial tank, which looks a lot like the Juggernaut from Rogue One, or the clone turbo tank, which made for a really cool Lego set, so maybe this one will too. I'd build it. It's being driven by a couple of tank troopers whose suits look like gray painted versions of shore troopers from Rogue One. When they get the ship, Fennec radios Phase 1 complete, which ties the type of mission dialogue to the Jango Fett Open Seasons comic, which basically had Boba's granddaddy communicating similarly and maybe offers insight to how Boba runs battle plans. Mando and Mayfeld have a heart-to-heart which confirms Mandalore is gone, or at least everyone really does believe it is, but also that Mayfeld operates in a gray area where we don't know if he's really good or bad. He just wants to survive with the people he cares about, which is above all himself. Pirates attack the tank, trying to stop the Rhydonium from being made into a weapon, and Mando has to fight them off. He might feel guilty about this later, but there's nothing coming between him and the kid. He does use one of the pirate spears against them, showing off a skill that might soon come in handy because he did just obtain a Beskar spear from the Magistrate a couple weeks ago. Ultimately, the first ever accurate TIE fighters and stormtroopers come to the tank's rescue, and we do see some shore troopers there as well. Inside, Mando is willing to break his own code as a means to get Grogu back, which means he has to take his helmet off and show his face. Hi there, Pedro Pascal. Thanks for trying to save 2020. Valen Hess, a high-ranking Imperial gets weird vibes from Mando's awful undercover body language, so they all end up having an investigative drink together. By the way, this is sort of a Game of Thrones reunion, which is cool because Hess is played by the Night King actor Richard Brake, and, well, we all know how Game of Thrones went for Pedro's character. Things don't go well on their first date after Hess suggests they toast to Operation Cinder, which was essentially Palpatine's dead man switch to punish his people if they couldn't help him survive. Operation Cinder first appeared in the Shadowed Empire comic. Mayfeld shares that he fought on Burnin Khan during Operation Cinder and lost his whole division because of it, so when Hess suggests the Rhydonium he delivered is going to be a better weapon than Operation Cinder, Mayfeld isn't having it. I can only imagine Mando is kicking him under the table, but Mayfeld blasts Hess and they have to fight their way out. They get to the Slave One, jet out of the base, and use a Void 7 seismic charge to waste the two TIE fighters behind them. This is so cool! Those seismic charges first appeared in Attack of the Clones being used against Obi-Wan. Mayfeld continues to show his heroic side using a cycler rifle Boba Fett took from Tusken Raiders on Tatooine to blast the Rhydonium and probably destroy at least most of that Imperial base. For his good deed, Republic officer Cara Dune declares Mayfeld dead in the explosion, and essentially he's free to go and doesn't have to go back to his prison sentence. But where are you going, Mayfeld? You just wandering out into the trees? Like, there's nothing out there. Duh. Yeah, somebody's probably gonna pick you up for that Rangers of the Republic show that was just announced. Nice. In the end, Moff Gideon gets a message from Mando. He is coming for the child, and our boy Din Djarin uses Gideon's own line against him. He means more to me than you will ever know. Well, us too, Mando. We got your back. Go get our boy.
Grogu, I'm coming for you.
What do you rate The Mandalorian Chapter 15 on a scale of 1 to 10? Did you catch any Easter eggs or Star Wars references? Share your thoughts in the comment section or send them my way on Instagram at BrandonDavisBD. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel and head over to Comicbook.com/Star Wars for more updates. I'm BD. I'll see you there.